Creative Mom Kamela here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I have something new to show ya. Let's take a look and see what we're gonna get into. Alright, so today's crazy is, well, mostly that Phoenix, of course, is involved and doesn't seem to want to not be involved. No, we are making a 3D card, and I've never done that. And I'm really excited and a little bit nervous because, again, I've never done it. So I'm cutting my last piece of cardstock. But I wanted to bring you in here this time and show you or give you a couple tips and tricks. So first of all, for my maker compared to my Explorer, I cut cardstock always on the Explorer 3. So I'm not sure, this is the first Cricut maker, and this is a 3 on my Explorer, so I know we're kind of, comparing that away. But my maker does not cut cardstock very well. Even new blade, I've tried it brand new, it didn't either. And so that is I always cut cardstock on my Explorer, and that's tip number 1. And I've heard from other Explorer owners, even not the 3s, that cardstock cuts much better on the Explorers. The other thing is when you're cutting, so I'm cutting like 6 sheets today. I don't know how many colors we've got, but quite a few. And this was actually 2 sheets, this color. Check your blade in between. So when this finishes here, I'll show you what I mean. But between each sheet, you should always check this blade. So we're going to pull it out and we're going to push the button and look for any debris. So I also want to add that I don't think my score tool on the Explorer works that great. So just know a bone folder, or I use a ruler, is really handy if you're going to need to fold, good straight lines. And so that's one other thing I wanted to add, and we should be almost done here. Phoenix really wants to get involved. Alright, so what I wanted to show you here is, first of all, check your blade when you start, and between each mat. And so you pull it out and you push it. There is nothing on it currently. Let me see, I was on my Design Space screen. Let me switch over to my camera so I can see what I'm showing you. Okay, so there's nothing on this blade, but sometimes cardstock gets in there. And of course it's sharp, but you're just pushing this part down and checking it. And rubbing alcohol works great, or I use my fingers, but I just pinch. So I don't slide or anything, I just pinch. And it did actually have a little bit of dust on it. But you want to get that off every time, and don't just glance at it. Really check and make sure it's clean. And then we put it back in. The other thing I want to show you is make sure your mat is, and too sticky of a mat for cardstock makes it pull off sometimes difficult. But you want a clean, smooth mat. And I'll show you what I mean. When I'm cutting lots of cardstock, I had a couple pieces under here. Luckily, it was okay where this was at, but you really don't want any pieces. So make sure you scrape clean. So especially these areas where these flowers are at, it's going to leave lots of scraps and itty bitty. This one right here is really small. So just make sure you use a scraper and scrape all of that off and keep your mat nice and clean. And obviously with cats around, I make sure I get my protective coating right back on my cover. And if I am in a hurry, because we all are sometimes, and I'm going to leave that for a minute, I still put my cover on. However, it does get stickier, it seems. So it's better to just grab your scraper and get this off. So I'm going to go ahead and clean my mat and get it hung up, and I'll meet you over so that we can get this 3D card put together. Let's see what one looks like. Alright, so I've got all these pieces cut, and I decided that I needed to light a candle. I have like anxiety over this because look at all these pieces. So by doing it with you all, I'm held accountable. So I decided I needed a little relaxation, and that candle smells really good. My niece gave it to me for Christmas. She picked it out for me, which is ironic because this card I'm making for her mom. So I'm making a birthday card for my sister. So let's sort out these pieces and see where we go. So they can be overwhelming because Design Space doesn't tell us a whole lot sometimes. So I'm going to go back to Design Space and make sure that that's the case on this project. Okay, so I wanted to show you something really cool that I just learned. You can, while you're in Design Space, click on this project because it's a pre-made project and scroll down and get your instructions from this screen. If you knew that, you can totally comment below and tell me that I am lame. My husband would say sheltered. Anytime it's something obvious, then he tells me I'm sheltered and we laugh. But really and truly, I did not know that, and I hope I was able to teach somebody that awesome trick I just learned. So this project has amazing details. I am going to go ahead and lay out my pieces in glue like this screen shows, and then I'll meet you right back in the work area and we will assemble this card. This was an exciting find. All right, so I read through all of that, finished gluing my flowers on the ends, and we're ready to hopefully put this together. So the tab ends are where you start. So both of these have tabs. And it's the first, so closest to these two flowers. And then this one that's closest to this flower. So those first slits that are closest to flowers go together. And then we have to move down here and go to these pieces. And we're headed for the second flaps on our tabbed pieces and the first flap on closest to the flower on the next pieces. Get in there. Okay, I know you go there. All right. And then so you got to find that other tabbed piece and go in the first slit on it. And it's a little tricky just because you've got lots of stuff going on, and it can only attach to the piece that it needs to attach to. So I hope that makes sense. But what I'm saying is they have to be able to lay flat, so they can only attach to their own piece. So then the last thing you're going to do, I've got a couple that are wanting to attach together. You almost need two hands for this, so it's really hard to show. Is you're going to do the same thing, is fill in your last slats with the flowers, with the last two, the small flowers. And then you can check it with your tabs to make sure that it lays. It's falling apart on me. It shouldn't really fall apart. I've got to get some of those slid in better. And then you check it with your flaps to lay down and pop back out. So I've got this hanging right here, and I'm going to try to separate it. Okay, and so then we are ready to build our card. So we're going to build the carrier and the bouquet part onto the white pieces. So let's get that done. All right, so I'm just gluing down the last decorative piece on the bouquet holder. And then I'm going to fold it on its lines. So it had lots of lines. And it looks like with the double layer of cardstock, I'm not needing my ruler. So that was super convenient there. And my last little flap. And now, if, you know, everything works out good, we should be able to place this all in, right? So now you can see. All right, and I'm going to pick this up. I don't think it's as fragile as I'm acting. I'm just really nervous. And we have to slide it into the slits on the top. And I feel like this is where it all goes wrong. All right, that one's in. Okay, whoa, come on, stay in. And then this one. Remember, it's flat, and it needs to lay flat because it will be a card, so I think I'm forgetting that, so I'm telling you to remember that. Okay, why don't you want to come all the way in? This is your new home. Like it or not, right? Okay. Oh, it's gonna work. All right, so let's put this piece on. And sliding this into that tab. And then you can kind of pull it from this side too, which is super helpful. Come on, there. And it goes right in where it goes. Okay, so this side did kind of come out. Let's get it in. Okay. And I'm trying. Make sure everything lays flat. And when it lays flat, it looks awesome. Okay, so here we go. Yikes, it's so scary. All right, we're closed. Here, closed. All right. And wow, that is really pretty. So all I need to do now is center everything up and glue down my flaps. And I am going to do that by doing this and lining all of that up. And then I'm going to drop one side down and glue it. I am so excited. I think my sister is going to be blown away when she opens this. I am really, really loving playing with cardstock. It is a very affordable Cricut project. And, oh, remember there's a flower there. Silly me. And it's easy. The Explorer really cuts it nicely. And I'm just really, really excited. All right, so this is coming out. That's not so exciting. Hold on. So remember that this glue that we're using, or I'm using, which I love, but in situations like this, it dries quickly. So you have to, good thing I caught it, and I'm getting it fixed immediately, but you really do have to. All right, and the green looks like it's still okay. It's staying in well. So we lucked out, and I was able to get it back in there. And I need to slide this side back in. And then I'm going to fold and make sure we didn't get uncentered during that mess. And hopefully we'll be able to report crisis converted, right? Diverted. Why aren't you wanting to fold? Okay, I think that's right. Making sure I don't want to wrinkle anything. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to check this way and glue. And I'm going to watch those flaps closely. All right. Okay, I think everything did fine this time, so I'm going to give that a little bit of pressure. And then we will open this up. Oh my gosh, that is so pretty. So I think I will leave this propped overnight like this. And the bow is super simple to put on. It has score lines as well. And you've come this far, you get this finished. The envelope is a slide in, so just beware of that. You fold this flap in, and then these two. You could do this one on the outside too. It really wouldn't matter, and it would be easier to glue this way. So that's how that goes, and it's going to slide in. So, and actually I am going to do it the other way. I'm going to do the purple side for the post office. You could do the printed side and then do a white label on it, And I'm sure the Postal Service, that would be fine. But either way, thank you so much for joining. It really was a fun and satisfying project. I cannot wait to send this to my sister. Shout out to Suzanne in the comments. Happy birthday, Suzanne. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope you all have a joyful day and stay creative. Bye, friends.